Alright, you guys. So, I never thought I'd make a video about this, and that is PETA. If you don't know what PETA is People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. They're the ones that you see outside of circuses that chain themselves to, you know, each other across the street. They're the ones that protest people wearing animal fur. There's all kinds of things that they protest. Some are good, some it's like are like for real, man. But this one's interesting. It's PETA versus Palworld. Let's get into this article. PETA releases statement on Palworld. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, issues a statement about the supposed animal cruelty in the Pocket Pair's survival game Palworld. But don't worry, this is not the only video game that PETA has protested. And we're going to talk more about that here in a moment. Animal rights organization PETA is concerned about the cruelty towards animals in the open world game Palworld. PETA may create a vegan guide for Palworld fans who do not want to eat the game's animal characters. While PETA's statement focuses on eating pals, there's also other potentially questionable activities in the game, such as capturing animals for breeding and labor. I didn't realize that they were just solely focused on people eating the animals, not the internment camps that you could potentially set up. Pocket Pair's open world animal collecting adventure game Palworld has caught the attention of animal rights activist PETA due to its apparent cruelty towards animals. Prior to the release, Palworld was marketed as a Pokemon with guns, and as such, it doesn't really hold back on the pixelated violence, even against the pals that populate the game. We're going to skip that word. I have no idea. Epitomus, or however, there's not even a T in there. I don't know where I got a T from. Anyways, however, the cuteness of the pals has caused some players to feel partially bad about killing them, as evidenced by occasional posts on social media. Of course, one of the central gameplay mechanics of Palworld is base building and crafting items, much of which requires loot that drops from pals. These valuable goods can be obtained in pals by capturing pals with pal spheres or sticking them in a ranch where they are freed upon freely dropping items as they roam around. Okay, but how is PETA going to release an ethical guide on this? I don't know. But the loot can also be collected more quickly and cheaply by simply slaughtering the wild pals inhabitants inhabiting the world. Okay, we can get behind that. It's not only a few players who have been having a hard time with possibly mistreating pals. PETA, the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, got in touch with the Insider Gaming and hinted that it might be creating a vegan guide for pal fans who have no interest in eating pals. It's Bulgarian after all, and this wouldn't be the first time that animal rights organization has stepped in to help out gamers. PETA has created a vegan guide for Animal Crossing New Horizons players when the game was released in March 2020. And if you think that's a joke, I actually have the PETA vegan guide to Animal Crossing New Horizons actually up on the PETA website. Basically, this is a biggie. Fishing isn't vegan, so you can't fish in New Horizons. Is it okay to catch bugs? For butterflies to wharf reaching your island, it is a bustling home for various insects and other animals. Keep it that way. Oh, Lord. Blathering would like to build a museum of fish and insects on your island. Don't let him. So basically, do clams feel pain? On your island, you can dig for clams. Here's why you shouldn't. Should I leave the hermit crabs in the game alone? Hermit crabs love hanging out on the shores of your islands. Leave them there. We can keep going. Basically, I don't know what you can and can't do in this game. Like, what vegan foods can you eat in the game? Apples, cherries, coconuts, oranges, peaches, pears. Like, What can vegans wear in the game? Like, dude, there's just legitimately a guide on how to play Animal Crossing New Horizons. And if you guys want, I can actually boot this up. I'm kind of interested to see how to play Animal Crossing New Horizons as a vegan. Anyways, back to the article at hand. It's worth noting that the statement from PETA seems concerned only about eating pals, even though there are a few other potentially disastrous activities available to do in Palworld. In addition to the aforementioned slaughter of pals, captured animals are put to work in what essentially amounts to unpaid labor camps, with others recompensing being a fluffy bed and some grub. Furthermore, even human NPCs can be captured in Palworld in the same manner as animals. The notable silence in PETA's statement somewhat echoes a traditional found within Palworld itself. Players can freely run about taking blah, blah, blah. All right, so basically, PETA's just like, you can't slaughter animals. But do you think that the PETA only takes exception to Palworld in Animal Crossing New Horizons? No, they don't. There is one other game that they took exception to. PETA calls out Nintendo over inaccurate portrayal of milking cows in 1-2 Switch. So basically, PETA told Nintendo that you are incorrect on how you milk cows in 1-2 Switch, and you have to stop it now. The violence must stop against cows. And I don't get why they got so mad about it, but the milking game in 1-2 Switch is one of the package highlights, offering plenty of scope of embarrassment, hilarity, and dirty jokes, all in a safe family environment. However, PETA has taken issues with the segment of the title, claiming it lacks realism and that it has taken all the cruelty out of milking. It clearly hasn't seen a gameplay in the Nintendo Life office. PETA isn't a stranger when it comes to using Nintendo as a platform to gain recognition for its very worthy efforts to prevent the needless suffering of animals. It was previously used Pokemon to convince people to give up eating meat, for example. And I was getting ready to say that. I'm surprised with how much of an exception they've taken towards Palworld that they haven't taken one towards Pokemon. Because, granted, Pokemon, you're not slaughtering them, but you're kind of capturing them and then forcing them to fight. I mean, according to Nintendo, they are your friends. Anyways, you guys, I just saw that article. I thought it was interesting. And then I did a quick Google search to see what other video games that PETA has taken exception to. So we know of Animal Crossing New Horizons. There's a vegan guide on how to play that. We know 1-2 Switch because of their inaccuracies when it comes to milking cows, and Pokemon and trying to convince people not to eat meat with Pokemon somehow. I'll have to look into that some more. That's kind of interesting. But anyways, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to mash that like button. Comment down below. Like, you think PETA has like a credible leg to stand here on, or do you think they're just full of shit like I am? Anyways, you guys have a wonderful evening, wonderful day, and I'll catch you later.